welcome to our English news edition coming to you from Canal, Algérie to the headlines. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, receives the Malian Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Abdoulaye Diop, and the Minister of Reconciliation and of Peace and National Cohesion of the Republic of Mali, Colonel Ismail Waghi. On the 10th anniversary of the Gunturin events, Army General Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, Saïd Chinguereha, chairs a commemoration ceremony. And Algeria breaks a new record of exports outside the hydrocarbons for the third year in a row, and the pharmaceutical industry eyes increasing its insulin production capacity. The participants in the 16th Congress of the Polisario Front reaffirmed their commitment to continue defending the rights of the Sahrawi people and to pursue the EU MPs deeply involved with the lobbying Makhzen regime. Our sports window is dedicated to the CHAN 2022 and the second game of Algeria versus Ethiopia. Good evening. Those were the major headlines. First in our news, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received on Monday the Malian Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Abdoulaye Diop, and the Minister of Reconciliation and of Peace and National Cohesion of the Republic of Mali, Colonel Ismail Waghi. The meeting took place at the Presidency here in Algiers in the presence of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and National Community Abroad, Talal Mamra, and the Principal Private Secretary of the Presidency, Abdelaziz Khalaf. Let us now have a listen to the Malian Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Abdoulaye Diop.
Nous sommes aujourd'hui présents en Algérie et nous venons d'avoir l'insigne honneur.
It's an honor to be received by the Algerian President. We carry a message from Colonel Assimi Goïta to his brother, President Tebboune, a message of gratitude and prosperity for the Algerian people, a message meant to consolidate the bilateral relations, binding the two countries. President Goïta is committed to further upgrade them to be up to the level of the two countries' expectations. For the two countries' interests, we were tasked by President Goïta to convey the Malian government's efforts to establish peace, to unite Malians, a message of thanks to Algeria for its mediator role in establishing peace. It's an opportunity to call on Algeria to double efforts for a common approach. President Tebboune was frank and sincere when talking about Mali. We are very optimistic following this audience.
In a different activity, the President of the Council of the Nation received on Monday Jibril Rajoub, Secretary of the Central Committee of the Fatah Movement and Special Envoy of the President of the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. The meeting was an opportunity to reiterate Algeria's firm and unwavering position towards the Palestinian fair cause, and the centrality of which was reaffirmed during the last Arab summit held in Algiers. For his part, the President of the National People's Assembly, Ibrahim Boughali, received the Sheikh or scholar and Dr. Mohammed Ratib El-Nabulsi. Marking the 10th anniversary of the Gunturin events, the Army General Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, Saïd Chinguereha, chairs a commemoration ceremony in the presence of prominent figures and a number of ambassadors and defense attachés accredited to Algeria. Ines Kulu with the full story.
The ceremony began at the level of Tiginturin gas station, where the national flag was hoisted and the national anthem was played. After that, the Army General, accompanied by the Minister of Energy and Mines, laid a wreath of flowers in front of the monument commemorating the event of Tiginturin, with the participation of some representatives of diplomatic bodies accredited in Algeria. A minute of silence was observed in tribute of the victims of the terrorist attack that targeted this important site. After that, the activity went on with a welcoming speech by Tawfiq Hakkar, Chief Executive Officer of Sonatrach Oil Company, in which he expressed his respect for the lives of the victims of this heinous terrorism. It is an honor to be here to commemorate the 10th anniversary of this painful event in Tiginturin and to remember our workers and friends and even foreign partners who were victims of this terrorist attack and aggression. It is also an opportunity to pay tribute to those who resisted this barbaric destructive act. I welcome you and thank you for your presence at this gas complex, which in 2013 witnessed a painful event that could have been a tragedy without the courage of its men. For his part, the Minister of Energy and Mines, Mohamed Arqab, praised in his speech the professionalism of the National People's Army in thwarting the criminal regime of terrorist groups. I take this opportunity to pay tribute to the elements of the National People's Army who thwarted the plans of the terrorist groups through a meticulous operation that aroused the admiration and recognition of all in front of the high professionalism of the elements of the National People's Army. Our heroes of the National People's Army showed once again that they are the worthy heirs of the National Liberation Army, succeeding in all the battles waged by our nation to preserve its security, stability and sovereignty. In his speech, Major General Sba Mabrouk, the Information and Communication Manager at the National People's Army staff, stressed the acumen and firmness of the National People's Army personnel during the sudden qualitative operation that was carried out with extreme speed and precision, which enabled the elimination of the terrorist group. Throughout this aggression, the terrorists wanted to draw the attention of the international media. They are trying to harm the stability of the country and to send a message to Algeria's partners saying that security does not prevail in our country and in the oil and gas complexes. But they failed, thanks to the courage of the gas station workers, the determination and high professionalism of our armed forces, who were able to collect, analyze and exploit information, and in a record time, which enabled the rapid and effective implementation of the operation, destabilizing the terrorists, leading to their annihilation and defeating their heroic plans.
للعملية في الميدان وأدى إلى إرباك العناصر الإرهابية والقضاء عليها وقبر مشروعها الإرهابي.
On this occasion, Army General Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, Saeed Chingriha, and all the National People's Army personnel were honored as a token of gratitude for the sacrifices and efforts made. It was an opportunity to supervise the ceremony of honoring some of the families of the Algerian foreign victims and wounded. On this occasion, the family of the martyr, Lahmar Mohammed Amin, who was killed during this event, was honored. The ceremony ended with the participation of all guests in planting trees at the level of the base camp of the gas complex of Tiginturin.
As part of the military cooperation between Algeria and the United Kingdom, Major General Mohammed Salah bin Bisha, the Secretary General of the National Defence Ministry, received at the headquarters of the Defence Ministry the Air Marshal Martin Elliott Sampson, the UK Defence Senior Advisor to the Middle East and North Africa, now on an official visit to Algeria at the head of a high-level military delegation. On this occasion, the two parties held discussions regarding issues of common interest in the presence of the Major General and Director of External Relations and Cooperation for the National Defence Ministry, as well as members of the accompanying UK military delegation. At the end of this meeting, the two parties exchanged symbolic gifts. In a different context, the first pallet of insulin pens was produced on Monday in the Bufarik Assembly Unit in Blida. Inaugurated by the Pharmaceutical Industry Minister, this unit is the first of a series of factories of the same kind. It will cover 50% of the local need in 2023. The sector's Minister Ali Aoun also inspected other facilities in the province. Najah Tayyar has the details.
With a total production capacity estimated at 45 to 50 million pens per year, the Bufarik insulin pens factory includes an assembly line and 2 lines fill-in. According to the Pharmaceutical Industry Minister, the inauguration of the first insulin pens for the Algerian market is considered a big step. The other objective mentioned by the Minister is to reduce the import bill for this medicine, which according to him amounts to 400 million euros. It is a success, but the hard work must carry on. This substance is essential. Flops are not tolerated. And like that, we will provide around 40 to 50% this year, and this is quite a success. And in order to cover almost half of the national needs, another unit in Oued Semar Industrial Zone will start producing soon. The objective today, according to the sector's officials, is to cover approximately 50% of the national needs of insulin substance in accordance with the instructions of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune. This achievement will make it possible to reduce the price of insulin available to the Algerian patient and also to make savings at the level of the Social Security Fund.
Algeria successfully increased its export volume outside the hydrocarbon sector for the third consecutive year, and this time by breaking a new record and an increase of 36%. Misa Kubash with the details.
$6.6 billion is the amount of exports outside hydrocarbons recorded by Algeria. It's the third time in a row that Algerian exports break the records with an increase of 36%. The surplus amounted to $18.1 billion, thus exceeding official expectations. In addition to fertilizers and steel products, which were always part of Algerian exports, alongside other products placed on the international market. Exports outside hydrocarbons represent 11% of the overall rate of exports, a historic figure that the Algerian economy managed to increase to a double digit. These records are the result of export efforts of nearly 147 countries around the world, including France at the top of the list with more than $700 billion, followed by Italy with $145 million and Germany with $264 million. For the American continent, the U.S. ranked first with $415 billion. Regarding African countries, Côte d'Ivoire is at the top with $70 million, followed by Niger with $63 million, then Mauritania and Senegal with $30 million each. As for Arab countries, Tunisia recorded $124 million, Jordan $55 million, Iraq and Syria $20 million each. Concerning products exported outside hydrocarbons, fertilizers topped the list with $1.7 billion, with an increase of 28% compared to the same period in 2021. Iron and steel with more than $500 million, with an increase of 30%. Cement with nearly $400 million, with an increase of 93%. The public authorities are working to maintain the development of exports outside hydrocarbons to reach $10 billion in 2023 and $15 billion by 2024.
The participants in the 16th Congress of the Polisario Front being held in Dakhla reaffirmed their commitment to continue defending the rights of the Sahrawi people and to remove the media blockade imposed by the Makhzen regime, which promotes misinformation. Melissa Kebash has a full story.
The 60th Congress of the Polisario Front, held in the Sahrawi refugee camp in Dakhla, succeeded to break the media blockade imposed by the Makhzen regime since the resumption of the armed struggle on November 13th, 2020.
We are here because Pedro Sanchez decided to change the historical position of Spain concerning Western Sahara and support the Moroccan plan.
A large number of Sahrawi activists came from occupied cities to take place in this forum and reaffirm the continuation of the fight.
The fight will continue with all the necessary means.
Spanish associations and organizations were also present, qualifying the position of its government as a betrayal to the Sahrawi cause.
It's a move against the position of the Spanish people. This reversal is unbelievable and unacceptable to us. Therefore, we are here to express our solidarity with the Sahrawi people.
Foreign delegations from Africa, Latin America, Asia and Europe were present as well to recall the Sahrawi people's right to defend themselves with all the necessary means.
L'Europe ne peut pas accepter
Europe can't accept that today Morocco is acting like the Zionist entity with the Palestinian people and occupied the Western Sahara, which is why we are here to say that we are the defenders of international human rights and how important is this Congress. We are here to support the Sahrawi cause because I believe that the international human rights must be applied on a people fighting for freedom.
This event is an occasion to call on the United Nations to respect the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination.
Let's shift now to the Shan competition being held in Algeria. Angola and Mali drew in their opening game of Group D, while Cameroon defeated Congo with 1-0 in Group E. And the national football team is to take on today the Ethiopian side as part of Group A. The prodigies of Bugara are called upon to beat Ethiopia and ensure their qualification to the next round following a narrow victory in the opening game over Libya with 1-0. All the best for our local team. And with that, our today's news edition comes to a close. Thank you for watching and goodbye.